All right, so are you ready for this? Imagine that spotlight's about to hit. You're all mic'd up, and you are about to totally nail this presenter interview. We're diving deep today into real questions.
Yeah.
The kind that RoleCatcher pulls from their massive database.
Mm.
That AI platform that helps people like you land their dream job.
It's all about the prep work, especially in this industry, in broadcasting. Feeling ready, it just translates to confidence. Like that's what's going to shine through when you walk into that interview room.
Yeah, and you can just feel it.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher's got your back. We'll be sprinkling in all their AI magic throughout this whole deep dive. But first, let's set the stage. Being a presenter, it's got to be more than just like lights, camera, action.
Oh, yeah. Definitely think TV, radio, even live events in the career guide really lays out just how diverse this world is. You're the voice, you're the face, like you are the connection point for the audience.
You have to make that connection. And that means that showing off your versatility in the interview is going to be key. And speaking of key, RoleCatcher breaks down these presenter careers into stages: entry-level, junior, mid-level, senior. And knowing where you fit into that helps you tailor your answers.
For sure. Yeah, it's like knowing the playing field before the game even starts.
Okay, let's unpack a question that RoleCatcher often sees for those starting out. It's in their interview guide. Can you walk us through your experience in presenting? Now, some of you listening might be thinking, experience, I'm just starting out.
Right.
What do I say?
Exactly. And that's okay. This is where you get to showcase your potential. Think transferable skills. Have you ever given a presentation in school?
Right.
Led a group project? Even something like running that bake sale for your club counts.
Yeah. It's about showing that you can already communicate and engage.
Exactly. And a really helpful way to structure your answer is to use what's called the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. And to kind of make this a little bit more concrete, let's say you did organize that bake sale. So you would describe the setup. What was the situation? What was your role in that? What did you do to make it a success? And then boom, what was the outcome? Maybe you broke the fundraising record.
Right. And get this, RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze those practice answers.
Yeah.
It's like having your own personal coach in your pocket, giving you feedback that's tailored to specific job roles.
That is so valuable, especially in such a competitive field.
Now, for those of you who are maybe a bit further along in their careers.
Yeah, a mid-level question might be something like, how do you prepare for a presentation? And that sounds simple, but it's where you can really demonstrate you're not just about the performance, but about the thought behind it.
So it's more than just memorizing lines.
Way more. This is where you can showcase that you're a pro at understanding the audience, doing your research. The career guide really emphasizes that, and then crafting a story, not just delivering information. It's about captivating, not just appearing.
And don't forget the little things. The career guide mentions even vocal warm-ups or having good posture can make a difference. It's about showing up as your best self.
Absolutely. Yeah, and honestly, like nailing those little things shows that you're really thinking about the whole picture.
Totally. Okay, are you ready for a curveball? Like even if you've got some experience under your belt?
Hit me.
Okay. How about this? How do you handle difficult or challenging questions during a presentation? Because let's be real, those can pop up anytime, especially if you're live.
Oh, absolutely. It can be nerve-wracking. But that's where your prep work really shines. The first thing is, don't feel like you have to rush into an answer. Take a beat to gather your thoughts.
So no blurting out the first thing that pops into your head.
Right. Even if it feels like a million eyes are on you, take that pause. Acknowledge the question, too, even if it feels a little off topic. Something as simple as, that's an interesting perspective, shows that you're listening and that you're taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And it buys you a little bit of time.
It does.
And then you can rephrase the question. That way, you make sure that you've understood it and everybody else knows what you're talking about. Then deliver that answer concise and on topic. That is key.
No going off on tangents, even if you're super passionate about the topic.
Stay focused. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit to a question that often comes up for more senior roles. Think about this one. How do you establish and maintain rapport with your audience?
Now, this is interesting because it goes beyond just the viewers at home,
Yeah.
right? The career guide really gets into this whole thing about typical interactions.
Yeah.
It's like connecting with your guests, your co-hosts, the crew. It's all part of the job.
100%. And honestly, the secret sauce to all of that is authenticity.
Audiences can spot a fake a mile away, So if you have a genuine interest in the people that you're talking to, if you're an active listener, that's how you create those real connections.
It shows. And speaking of authenticity, I have to ask about those pre-presentation jitters. The career guide even mentions these.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a question that RoleCatcher sees a lot. How do you handle nerves before a presentation? Because I think even the most seasoned pros still feel it, right?
They absolutely do. It's totally normal. It
Yeah.
means that you care. Think of it like this. Those butterflies in your stomach. They just need to learn how to fly in formation.
I love that. Okay, so how do we get those butterflies flying right?
Deep breaths are your best friend.
Yeah.
Honestly, they can work wonders. And then try visualizing a successful presentation. Just close your eyes and imagine yourself totally nailing it.
Yeah.
It can really help to calm those nerves. And focus on your key message. You know what's the one thing you really want people to take away from this? Some people even have a little pre-show ritual, something that just helps them get in the zone. Ooh, like a power pose or something. I totally get that. Okay, back to RoleCatcher's treasure trove of questions. This one's an interesting one, especially as you get more experience under your belt. How do you measure the success of a presentation? Because it has to be more than just like a feeling, right?
For sure. It is more than just like, oh, I felt good about that. Audience engagement, that's a big one.
Mm.
But it also goes deeper. Think feedback surveys, post-presentation chats, even...
Social media buzz.
Exactly. Are people talking about it afterwards? All of that feeds into it. And it's about being open to that feedback and using it to continuously improve.
Always learning, always growing. Which, by the way, is something that RoleCatcher really emphasizes too. Their platform isn't just about getting the job. It's about, career growth.
Yeah.
They've got career guides, skills guides. It's like this whole support system right in your pocket.
Yeah, it's like having a mentor on demand.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep rolling with these questions. Here's one that often comes up for folks with some experience. Can you describe a time you had to adapt your presentation style to a specific audience?
Ooh. This feels like it's all about knowing your audience, right? Because what works for a boardroom full of executives might totally bomb with a group of students.
You hit the nail on the head. Research is key here. Know your audience, their background, their interests. Adjust your language, your tone, even your body language. If you're dealing with a complex topic and you've got a non-technical audience, you're going to want to find ways to break it down, maybe use some relatable analogies.
Yeah, you've got to meet them where they are. So what about adding in some razzle-dazzle? I'm talking multimedia. RoleCatcher sees this one a lot. How do you incorporate multimedia elements into your presentations? This feels like where the tech skills come in.
Big time. This is about showing the interviewer that you're comfortable with all the tools of the trade. So things like presentation software, AV setups, even having some basic graphic design chops, it can really set you apart. A successful presenter knows how to seamlessly blend content and tech, right?
So don't be afraid to get a little techie. Now, for those of you aiming for those senior roles, the questions often involve data. So something like, how do you use data and statistics in your presentations? Because data can be dry if it's not presented well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The key is making it digestible. Choose your data wisely, don't overwhelm people, and then use visuals, charts, graphs to make it clear and engaging. And then the real magic is connecting that data back to your message so that it's relevant to the audience.
Storytelling through data. This is so cool. And you know how we were talking about RoleCatcher's AI feedback?
Yeah.
This is where it really shines.
Yeah.
You can practice all of these different answers, and their AI will actually analyze them and give you tailored suggestions to make your responses even stronger.
It's like having a secret weapon for interview prep. For real.
It's true. Okay,
Okay.
one last question before we wrap things up. Imagine you're in that interview room, and you're up against some really seasoned pros.
Yeah.
What's that secret sauce? What makes you stand out? Like, how do you make yourself truly memorable?
I think it comes down to owning your story. What makes you? Like maybe you have a background in something completely different that brings in a fresh perspective. Or maybe you're a natural at connecting with people. You're a storyteller and people are just drawn in.
That's like you said earlier, authenticity.
Exactly. Don't try to fit a mold. Just embrace what makes you unique and let that genuine enthusiasm shine through. That's what people remember.
I love that. Okay, so to wrap things up for all of you aspiring presenters out there, prep, prep, prep. Know your stuff, practice those answers, and use every tool at your disposal. Like RoleCatcher, it's right there to help you really make an impact.
It's true. And even if you don't end up landing this particular gig, remember every interview is a learning experience. So take that feedback, keep honing your skills, and just never, ever give up on that dream.
Could not agree more.
Yeah.
Well said. All right, to everyone listening, good luck out there. You got this. Remember, the world needs what you bring to the table. Your voice, your perspective, your stories. Keep learning, keep growing, and until next time, keep diving deep.